from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's see if we hear some sound here. Oh, not there. There's Robin. Hey, Robin, how you doing this morning? Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's my sound. Excelente. All right. All right. Get rid of that. Take that headphone set off and go to the next. Excellent. It's nice and loud, too, I hear. All right. Dollar index. We always seem to start off with that, but as Robin always says, have a question, just ask. We'll always stop what we're doing and go after whatever question you have. We have no problem with that. We just try to keep a rhythm going. You know, it's like the prayers each day, so forth and so on. All right. So you can see the dollar index, trading at 104.40 up on let's put it up on there larger, right there. And you see, it's been moving back up last couple days. Heard one money manager this morning was saying about they are amazed that anybody would have gotten the idea that we're going to have 6 cuts, which is kind of fascinating in its own right. But then these are the times, unfortunately, sometimes financial logic gets thrown out the door and they just kind of go with the wish, hope, and pray. In the end result you see now is that that slope you can see here, we've been kind of moving up and up and up now for almost 4 weeks, I guess it is. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, I guess at this point. Let's take a look at it. You can see it on our beta. Let's go over to the beta. You can see there's 4 weeks right there in a weekly buy. And then when we go over to, let's put it in here and take a look at our platform itself, our regular platform. As we go hunt down that dollar index, you'll see the same situation going on where it's been in a buy for a while there. It shows, yes, it's showing the 4 weeks, and you can see the fast, and let's show it to you. Let's shrink this down and then come over to, it's around here somewhere. Where is that? Where are we? Why don't I see? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's spread out. Let's fix that. There we are. And pull this back like so. And then we go to 2, and there it is right there. You can see the same thing on our platform where we were in a consistently long running buy. Didn't go up explosively, which we don't expect it to. I'm kind of a little impressed. We're at over the 104 area, which is nice. We went into the sell. Let's steal this, or let's find another buy line. Throw it in there for those that can't see as clear. Let's move that over like that. Move this over like so, and slide that in. And it's went into the buy again. Only went into a sell, I think, 2 days. It was back in here. Went into the sell after 15 or 16 days in a buy. That's pretty much what it was. And you can see the fast had popped back into the buy there. Oh, there we go. Any updates on MVO and AMD? Well, let's go check and see. Let's see, where is it at first? NVO should be on this page, so we'll slide down and see. There's your NVO. Activate. I guess, what's that all about? I don't know why it red's there. Let's see, that is yesterday, and this is today's action. So that is still in the buy from here. And see how we had a green and a red there. That's why it stayed in the buy. And it's been in that buy, guess what, from the, let's check that out. What's the close there? The close is 106.68. And now we're up at around, we got up as high as 120. And today we are at 108. So it looks like it's at 118.08. So it's down from yesterday. And this is not, this is pre-market, so this is all screwy when it comes to open, high, low, and close. But not close. The close is the last physical trade. So that's all right. After that, the rest of it's all mixed up. And we won't see that get cleaned up until 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, let's remove that one. And we must have been anticipating a sell a couple times. Obviously, there is no sell yet. And we'll see how it goes today. And you can see it's been in that weekly buy too, from that 10. What's that? Closed at 106.98, or is that 105.98? Either way, down in that lower area. So it's going up about $13. So there's your NVO. Let's check out Mr. and Mrs. AMD. I also am looking at analysis on energy stocks. Any recommendations? They've all been marching about the same. Chevron's been moving the same as ExxonMobil. I saw an interesting story, I think it's about 5 days ago, where they were saying that the earnings, I think, came out on ExxonMobil, and I don't remember if it was Chevron or Royal Dutch Shell, but they had the same earnings. Or they had something that was similar. Everybody was kind of surprised. They'd never seen that happen in decades or something like that. It was something. I'll see if I can find that story. But I would say, I guess it's a combination. Who has the most resources? In other words, who has refining, who has oil fields, and who has possible stations, retail, that type of thing. I would say, like an ExxonMobil or Royal Dutch Shell, British Petroleum, Chevron is pretty much the same way. I think who else is out there? Schlumberger is usually, that can be an interesting character, Schlumberger. But, I would say I'd go with those. That seem to be the most logical. I don't think you can go wrong. I think they all have about the same PEs. I would say probably can you? I guess what I can. Oh, let me get AMD up for you while I'm rambling. I would say that when looking at any one of those, what would be the best? Like, what would stand out more than other parts of the company? In other words, what would stand out, make you decide to go with one versus the other? I'm trying to think. What would that be? Probably past history. See their debt levels. I mean, it's going to be built into the price either way. You're going to, there's a lot of money managers out there doing all kinds of ways of kicking the tires and trying to choose. So I'd have to think about that. I'm not active. I mean, there are times when I was young, I played around with oil stocks. Now it's kind of like a buy right situation. So I don't really pay attention. In other words, you buy the stock, collect the dividend forever, and write calls against it. That's pretty much my nature to it at this point. So I don't really look at it like the way you do when you're looking for appreciation of the underlying value. I create synthetic bonds, I guess you could say. Let's get that AMD up there for you. Here's AMD coming in. I think we have AMD on. Do we have AMD on the beta? I think we do. I have Apple on there. I think before we redid the beta, AMD was on there. I'll have to add that again. And here comes AMD. There is Kohl's, the department store. And, okay, yeah, you can see it closed in a buy yesterday. It looks like it closed in a buy. Let's see what that is. That is plot 1 is plus 11 and plot 4 is 22. You can see it in that box that I shake right there. And I guess the fast is dropped into the minus, but we're not using the fast on the center bar to begin with. But you can see the same things happening here as you have on the weekly. It's been in the weekly buy since like the 100 area, and it's climbed to, what's that high there? Is that right? Oh, okay. What is that? That is 180. Okay, so it's gone almost, what's that, 78%? 80%? Something like that. So it's gained 78% since it's been in the weekly buy. The weekly buy now, you can see in the AMD, is still holding up way over the manifold here. So there's not much to be concerned about there. You can see the fast is broken down and is actually piercing the zero line for the first time. There's some. It's trying to get into a daily sell. Let's see. It wasn't a daily buy. How did it do here? So it was a daily buy there. It went into a daily. Let's give you a red line here. Last time you looked at it, obviously, is about 6-7 days ago. So it went into the sell here, but we're in a weekly buy, so all you can do is take your profits. You don't really want to play it unless you're doing it with options, binaries or listed calls and puts type of thing. And then you can see it went back into the buy here. Let's put the buy back in there. And it didn't really go anywhere with it. So it seems to be stalling out a little bit in here. There is a strong opinion that that the tech stocks are, as they like to say in the hedge fund industry, they're a little over their skis. Yeah, so we'll see. And now you can see today, it looks like it's easily pressing through the zero line with no problem whatsoever. Let's widen that out for you, like that. Move that over. So you can see here, it's starting to show some signs, especially with that fast, giving you the warning that it's trying to break down. Okay, Yada says, despite British Petroleum annual profits halving in 23 to 13 billion, the company has revealed that it has beat the last quarter expectations by posting a profit of $3 billion. I'm sorry. Namely, the markets expected the energy company to perform even worse than it actually has due to this reasoning. The value of stock is moving higher. Okay, there you go. By mid-European trading hours, the news have caused a 5% jump of the company's stock price. Oh well. Maybe it's turned. I don't. Didn't they have a lawsuit a while back? Like I said, I don't really pay attention to the energy stocks that much. If I'm going to do anything, I'll go right into the crude and trade that. And then, in long-term investing, I'm just selling calls against ExxonMobil, so I'm not paying attention to that deeply either. No doubt that if we get into a sell on a weekly sell, I will be taking that premium that I get from the calls and buying puts with it. So in other words, I get my insurance hedged for free. So that's why I say I create synthetic bonds. So in other words, it's we're pretty well covered. Didn't they have a lawsuit? Isn't that what beat them up profit-wise? That's why I forget what it was. There was something like that about a year and a half ago, right? On the BP. I just haven't paid attention to it that much. I can take a look closer after the webinar and see if I can give you some better opinion. Right now, I'm just shooting from the hip at this point. But just like when we, when you asked me about the 4 stocks and what would for 6 to 9 months. So are you thinking on a 6 to 9 month period, or are you just looking for a shorter term, or what are you thinking? Longer term situation, I would assume. That's usually the way you go too. Let's see, BP. Oh, there it is, right there. Oh, darn! I went to see you on the tape and it disappeared. Oh, okay, 2-year period. Yeah. I like the. I'm always marrying the. In other words, you wouldn't drive a car without insurance. You wouldn't go through life without health insurance, or some type of life insurance. And so I don't understand. Ever since 1976, I don't understand why people are not using options all the time as an insurance product. I mean, you can put them on for free and protect your assets, and then you can enhance your income. I have one friend, I was telling Robin this morning, I've been working with him on options for the last year and a half. He's up a little more than 250% from when he started, and he's just doing buy rates, buying the stock, collecting the dividend, selling the call, dollar cost averaging with the money that the market gives him, and buying more stock. And he's got like 6-7 different companies now at this point, and things like Uber and Zim, and trying to think what else he has. That used car sales thing, CMVAS or something, that, and he has Lyft, and he has, what else does he play with? Plays with stuff like that, simple things like that, and does buy rights. And then what happens is that when you feel that the markets are turning, like on a weekly signal, you go and buy a put with the cash that you got from the call, and you're insured. And so if the world comes to an end financially, you're covered. What's the difference? You can spend just as much. You can spend money made buying a stock, or a soybean contract, or whatever, or gold, just as easily as if you made money on a put. They all spend in the store the same way. So profit is a profit is a profit. All right, holding stocks. You said chips and defense. Yeah, I added health via NVO. Is that what that is? The healthcare? Yeah. And the end result is that when you see a weekly sell, sell a call and buy a put. I mean, it's a cheap little, way of insuring yourself. And, if the markets fall apart, then you take all that cash from the put and buy more stock, dollar cost average into it with its own money. And you don't even have to take it out of your pocket. So it's something I constantly remind people for the last 5 decades. And they kind of do what they want to do. That's what free will is all about. Baruch Hashem. Anyhow, that's where we are. All right, let's go over to Giannis. If you have anything else, just shout it out. I'm going to go back to the dollar index, and we'll finish that off. We'll just take a look and see where the weekly is with that. Where is that at? Let's go over to here again. That's the beta. It's looking kind of firm. I just don't see it on fire. I just don't. I don't think we're going to see a 107. I can see us getting to, up in this area. This is where we talked about. Now let's go over to, let's put it up on the screen here. Right there. And you got right there, you can see, no, that's AMD. Let's go over to here. Yeah, so I mean, the weekly's so high up. We'll wait and see what they do with. Oh, that's the MVO. Well, that's a good stock. Let's see. There it is. The weekly looks kind of firm. I don't think it's going to be explosive. Moves on the upside when it comes to the dollar. I just think that. Look, there's a strong opinion now. Oh, there you go. Rihanna said something. Let's. I added healthcare, so let's upgrade. You would suggest a passive portfolio of 70% tips, oil, chip, defense. Yes, definitely. And the tips, if you're going to buy government bonds, you might as well buy tips. I mean, they're the smartest thing to do, because at least you're going to get the inflation character protected. Whereas you get your head handed to you when you just go out and buy naked bonds. And I've been known to go sell calls against the bonds and buy puts against the bonds. It's like reversed, but doesn't matter. Either way, it's like, in this case, I guess it's you're selling calls, you're buying calls and selling puts in this case. But, in the end result is that no one drives or does anything without insurance anymore. So why not insure your equity portfolios? Or if you're long gold, sell calls, buy puts. I mean, you can roll them and move them. That's the beautiful thing about it. Go out and sell 3-month calls, and take in another 15% on your holdings. And if it explodes, you can just always buy them back and go sell a more expensive one. I mean, you might have to do it for 6 months out or 9 months out, but and I've always told people, if you think you're buying gold for like a reckoning, the chances are you would be better off with 22 caliber shells. They'll be worth more than small gold coins. And and I've said that for decades. And look at it. Look what happened with quantitative easing in 2008 going into 9. We saw the world go nuts, right? I mean, we saw a collapse in the financial system. Major companies disappeared or were merged, okay? Deutsche Bank, gone. As it's in name only. I guess you could say they're all in name only. Merrill Lynch, in name only. Lloyd's of London in name only. I mean, they're gone. They're owned by the Exchequer. Bank of Scotland in name only. Citibank in New York in name only, owned by basically the government. And so here you had this major collapse of the whole financial system. And where did gold go? Barely made it to 2000. Oh, okay. Driving, eh? I need to think. Okay, excellent. We'll have to talk about that. I just saw the text, and so, um, and think about the way gold and silver acted. I mean, it ran, yeah, it ran, but let's put it this way: if someone had told me a story and said this is what's going to happen in 2008, where do you think gold would be today? I would have said between $5,000 and $10,000 an ounce. But no, we barely can get past $2,200 an ounce. So, I've always said you're better off buying equal amounts of 22 caliber shells. They'll be just as valuable as gold coins. And so, I know it sounds strange, but it's obviously clear. If the whole system collapses, people are going to want ammunition before and they'll take your gold. That's what it'll come down to. So, and that's unfortunately the way it always seems to look. I know it sounds crazy, but it's something we've all on the trading floors for years thought is that we don't. I can remember the crash of 1987 very clearly. Standing there going, gold is only up $50, and Dow Jones Industrial Average is down something like 65-70% at one point. They had to halt the exchange, and all you could do is get gold up $50. So it tells you something. It tells you that gold is a great long-term investment, just like all the things you just mentioned up there. Suggests a passive portfolio of 70% tips and oil and chips and defense stocks. And you throw some, like Newmont Mining in there. Throw a couple of, gold companies in there that pay dividends. But when you want to buy those coins, you might as well put them with your ammunition at the same time. And that is pretty much, unfortunately, as much as we as traders would like to think that we could have a silver bullet, I guess you could say. We've seen it in '87. We saw it. We saw it in 2009. We saw it. We couldn't get those things to get going. I mean, look at silver. Silver finally made it up into the $50 area, 52 or something like that. Took out the old high, and where is it at today? Trading at $22 or $23, something like that. And then when you go to buy the stuff physically, there's no doubt that it doesn't match the exchange prices whatsoever. Let's see. I'm seeing stuff from education. Okay. Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. So from there, where do we go from there? All right. We're done with the dollar index. Let's go check out some currencies. Again, traders, if you want to see anything or ask anything, you can see Giannis does it. Anybody else can do it. I don't bite. And there are no dumb questions when it comes to dealing with money and trading and charting. There are only short answers or long answers. That's all there are. And with my experience and Robin's experience, you're going to hear concepts that most of the time you don't even hear, that have been historical in actual trading for literally centuries. Dollar cost averaging and so forth. Should be bought and weekly sell appears. Let's see. So if one goes long, he needs to accumulate three stocks and hold not hold puts as much as you can sell calls and buy puts. You can buy cheaper puts, lower, still take in some premium, and then have a small insurance. And when you're in a weekly sell, then you push puts up higher in value. So I guess you could say, yes, you're holding puts. But they could be dirt cheap just for the sake of a calamity. Why people buy gold and silver and so forth. How about we implement something new here? Okay. Instead of going through a list of instruments and questions, start the day with the top highlight opportunity of the day. Well, you mean like what looks like the best trade? Yeah, we could do that. We could, go around and look at. I could go look at what looks like the best trade of the day, or last couple days. I know that in the news this morning, the markets were firm because China again came out and gave us lip service, telling us that they're going to stimulate again. And we were already seeing a $1 trillion stimulus. Now, they didn't make clear what they're going to stimulate, how much they're going to spend. But a 1 trillion won stimulation is $120 billion. Well, we keep on seeing the collapse of the real estate market and everything else, a third of their economy already in China. So I'm not sure where they're going to find the money, since they've already can't find money just to prop up their own real estate market. But that's the news of the morning. Now that's the start of news of this morning. Why we saw a firm market, and the market is kind of firm still. Let's go take a look at the intraday real quick. And you can see here it's bouncing off. Over here it's still dipping. You can see it on this one right here, the intraday of a 26,000 tick. You can see the pressure is on there. Whereas on the Tesla, 2/3 Tesla, or I guess it's actually 0.78 Tesla, you can see it jumped back into the buy, went down and challenged the lows here, but it didn't challenge yesterday's lows. Yeah, we could do that. We could go start looking for good trades for the day and the week, and strategies like do a buy right here, go after it because it's it's past its earnings situation, and so there should not be too much volatility for another 2+ months. Remember, a lot of times people end up jumping into products that are at a volatile point where it's clear to the money managers but not clear to the investors itself. Let's see, I meant defense. Didn't spend money in the start the day with that. Okay, yeah. Didn't the U.S. just spend more money on its top hobby, 120 billion for beating the shit out of the countries? I'm not sure what they've spent yet. They the media makes it sound like they've done something. It's probably in committee. That's what I think. The Senate has a bill up there for about $120 billion, but it's dead on arrival. Who signs the check? Who controls the money is the House of Representatives, and they've already called it dead on arrival. So it's not happening. But the media will try to make it sound like it's happening. And I think it's going to go to debate now. It's come out of committee in the Senate, and it's going to go to debate and what they call writing it up. They start to try to massage it, make it so that people can feel comfortable with it. In other words, to vote for it. Remember, that's what they've been dodging. The politicians for over 20 years keep on trying to dodge responsibility of putting their name on a vote. So that's why they don't. The House now is trying to tell them they don't want to give them any money unless they actually vote on the 12 bills. There are 12 bills that have to be, debated, and they keep on pushing through what's called an omnibus. And so, let's see, good earnings for war stocks usually are. It depends. Who did I hear? Northrop Grumman had a problem about a week ago, I heard, or something. Their stock got smacked. One of them did. It goes back in and out. Boeing, Lockheed Martin. There's a lot of tech companies out there. There's a lot of combinations out there, really. And so, but I like that idea. We should start off more of me looking at what's jumping out on our technical analysis and what's in the news and what is kind of being looked at more seriously. And this way we don't just go blindly. It's just, we used to have more questions and so forth, and so I stayed with the consistency. But you're right. We probably should get a little bit more aggressive. Let's see. Thanks for the comment. It clears up. I got it from what I read. It is approved. Yeah, yeah. It came out of committee approved. And now it's, and they, matter of fact, they had what they call a whip conference last night for the Republicans, and it's run by the whip. Like there's the majority leader, there's the minority leader, there's the majority whip, there's the minority whip, and the whip is the one that's supposed to try to get the votes organized for the majority leader or the minority leader, and so over half of the Republicans were against the bill. So we'll see what they do with that. I myself see it as a trap for the Democrats because they're going to have to go vote on spending money on illegal immigrants. And I don't think a lot of Democrat senators want to have their name on that. So I'm not sure where that bill is going to end up. In the end result, they should say that the House, since the House declared it dead, why do they even fool with it? I have no idea. You know, I mean, it's definitely a sucker play for the Democrats at this point, as far as I can tell, because I don't think they want their name on something like that. There's like 10 senators that are in swing states that are on the edge of losing their seat. If they go and vote to give illegal immigrants $5,000 checks and green cards and all this other stuff, that's going to freak out those seats for them. So I don't. The logic to me doesn't stand, but we'll see. Who knows? All right, where'd we leave off? What else can we say? Why don't we do this? Why don't we try looking at something? Let me think. How do I do this? Well, we got that's the intraday S&P 500. So let's go back over to, where do we go there? That was Robin Stocks. Anybody? That's why I'm always hoping that someone says, "Hey, I want to look at this," and then we could see if it's worth being long or short. That's the easier play. For me, you know, that is always the easier play. So let's take a look at the currencies and see who's worth. You know, I mean, what we do is we must bore people by going to say, here's the there's the euro, okay, and we're in a daily sell now, 3 days. Let's widen that out. There you go. So we're in a sell for 3 days, and we're in a weekly sell. Now, I personally would think, okay, that's really good for traders that you have a general idea. I'm telling you where the weekly sell started up in here, went into a daily sell there, didn't go back into a buy for just 1 day, back into the sell again, and you know both trades have been winners. To me, that's a winner chicken dinner. But I guess I must hand feed a little bit better, be a little bit more elaborate. It's like, get off the duff, get short euros. I guess, yeah? I don't know. I have a whole hard time with that. But anyway, I thought I do. I really thought I told people this. You know, this is where you should be short, this is where you should be long, so forth and so on. So I guess I'm not being more specific. So I guess I will have to be more specific when we look at different products. And I guess that's what I'm going to have to be, is more aggressive. Is that what you're basically saying, Giannis? Oh, wait a minute. You're firing away on that other system too. Let me take a look at where you're texting me. Let's see. Summary the marketing head has been actually okay. Okay. I love it, Giannis. You know, I never pull the punches. I like that. That's good. All right. So, where do I go from here? Does anybody have a desire to see wants to buy? Anybody want to buy a stock and make money? Is that what you want to do? Or you want to buy a currency? You want to short a currency and make money? What do you want to do? Tell me what you want to do, and I'll go find one for you. I guess that's the way to go. All right, let's take a look at the cable. And I guess I'm going to have to rethink this whole thing of the morning show. And you can see here it's been in a sell. That box keeps on sliding over. You know, it's trapped in that range. You can see we're 3 days in a sell there, and we're in a weekly sell. I don't know. I thought that was a good signal. But I guess I got to crack the whip and say, okay, go sell a binary for the next 3 weeks. That type of thing. A binary call spread. Or go buy a binary put spread for the next 5 weeks. That type of thing. Or I guess if there's some out there that want to be intraday traders, we could go find ways of pointing it out in other products the same way. Just like when we go, let's do it again. We'll go back to here. I mean, we could, here is the, let's put this up there again like that. There it is right there. I mean, obviously, if you got short in a binary here, you would have made money all the way down to right there, basically to the low. And if you got long off of that long finally right there, then you would make the money there. So now the question is, are people going to pay attention to that, or they're not going to pay attention to that either? I mean, I can give recommendations from the technical analysis on intraday, daily, weekly, monthly, you name it. So we'll have to figure that out, Giannis. And then we'll go from there. All right. So where did I leave off? I'm leaving off possibly the last day that we do it this way. Not there, not there. There's the cable. And then when we go over to the Swiss has been in a daily buy for 3 days. It's been going up in value, and it's in a weekly buy. So why weren't you out there, people, buying it 3 days ago? I guess that's the answer to it all. The math told you to buy it. All right, and it has an 8.5 out of 10 accuracy rate. So if you do it with options, then you increase your return even more and reduce your risk. How's that? But then when we talk about options, people get scared. No one seems to be able to add and subtract out there or something like that. I don't know. Strike price freaks everybody out. It's like XXX porn or something. Expiring months is like child porn or something. I don't know. For some reason, you say those words, they get scared to death. So they relate to them the way I just related to them. They're just like evil things that people don't want to get near. Options are the best thing that's been created since the summer of 75. And that's why markets are so volatile now, is because big money can build enormous positions. We went from millions of dollars to billions of dollars now when it comes to trading. So, and if you're not willing to get involved in the options market, you're wasting your time in trading to begin with. Unfortunately, that's the way I believe. So I'll probably scare more people away now. Because, we say those scary words, options, 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 listed options. That's even worse. Listed options. And then we start talking about strike price and expiration date and premium. Those other 3 words that are like triple X across the board. So, I don't know. I'll try. I will try to bring those things. Every time I do, we seem to lose viewers. People get scared and run away. Run away. Run away. All right. Let's see. Where are we at now? So from the Swiss, let's go take a look at the LDP party in Japan. And you can see here, they're in a daily buy for 3 days and been in a weekly buy for 4 weeks. That I saw last night again. It really surprises me. They are still dealing with this LDP problem over there. It was a fundraising problem. They were actually fundraising and distributing the money to all the members of the party. That's kind of not legal. And so that's why they've lost 5 ministers. They've lost the head of the Bank of Japan last year from it. And they've lost the finance minister at the end of last year. And I think a couple of people have gone to jail or something like that. But there's the yen. The yen is slowly leaking its way in the wrong direction. I guess you could say it's not gaining against the dollar. It's losing against the dollar. It's kind of trapped in that don't know what to do. The fun part, I guess you could say, is that the Nikkei has been in a weekly buy for a while now, and it's let's put it up on J4X or beta. Let's put it on both of them. Let's see, on the beta right there, and let's put it on there. If we can find the mouse, there's the beta. Again, mouse. Where are you? There you are. And there's the beta. And you can see it's been in a weekly buy for over 10 weeks. And the product has gone from the 33,000 area up to the 37,000 area. At the same time, we've seen the currency. It's basically an inflation thing, because we've seen their currency lose value against the dollar, almost 50% in value. It's going from the 110 area, 105 area to the 152 area. So it's a combination of inflation more than anything else. We're seeing the stock market going up on that. It's an inflation factor. And then from there, let's see, we go to, let's go to, like that, and let's go put it up on J4X. Let's take a look at the yen there. There's the yen there. Make it the whole page. You can see the same situation. It's been in a buy, more days up than down. Well, it's been in that 10-week run. And let's take a look at the weekly on there at the same time. There's the weekly. It's probably got, at least right there on the weekly, it's got 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of buy going on there. So, the yen has, when it goes up in when you see this on a chart, when yen goes up, it's losing money against the dollar. When it's going down, it's making money against the dollar. And then we jump over to, let's go take a look at the, where's that? The Turkish lira, the great experiment, real quick. Only God knows that I've been helping people with that for the last 8 or 9 years. If anybody follows the webinars, we have saved people from the Turkish lira. It's gone from $1 to, or in this case, €1 to 33 euros. What a punishment it is to the poor people of Turkey. That's the weekly. There's your daily. You see, it's kind of got that same crazy, envelope or digestion going on, where it seems to be trapped. Yesterday or the day before, let's put it up over here. I think yesterday or the day before, it closed at an all-time close. There it is right there. Yeah, so 2 days ago, this is the third day, so 3 days out. Let's put it up on the screen here. Woo. What happened to that? How do I move that? Now, what did I do wrong there? There we go. Go like that. And move that over like so. And then let's go like that. And there it is right there. That was an all-time close right there 3 days back. And it pushed into the sell yesterday. It's kind of down now, but this thing swings, and this has a higher volatility than oil. It's like in the 60s and 70s and 80s sometimes. Depends. It's wild. And so let's move that over to there. Went into the sell there. And you can see it's been in that weekly buy for a while now, all the way back to September. What else can we say about that? And I'm not seeing any questions, so I've probably chased even more people away by using the word OPTIONS. Didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to. Just would like you all to make money. That would not. I'm sure you wouldn't mind making money. Let's see, what else is there? So from there, we'll go over to the #1 brick in the world. And maybe we won't be watching that so much anymore. There's the brick, the buy for 3 days, which means when it's going up, it's losing against the dollar too. And so you can see here it's been in a weekly buy since there. It's tight market, but it's been in a weekly buy there. And it was in a daily buy there for a bunch of, like 3 weeks. Then it pushed into the sell and gave you an opportunity to get long right there. And now, you're basically long. You're short the South African rand and long the dollar against it. And let's see, what else can we say about that? Well, what we do is we look at the metals complex when we go and look at the South African rand, because if this is moving up, then usually metals are moving down. When this thing's moving up like this, more than likely gold has been going down. And when it goes down like that, gold has been going up. So if that sounds familiar to you, we'll even show it to you in picture. Let's see. Right there. And there's the gold. And as you can see, it's been going down for a couple of days. It's kind of popping up a little bit today. Not bad. But we've been in that weekly sell since back in here. It closed there on that. And so it's really not done anything good. It goes into a buy and gives you a warning that there's pressure on the upside again. And then it goes back into the sell there yesterday. And barely, made it, went lower for a little bit. And now it's up. And I just don't see anything particularly good or bad with the way gold is acting. It just seems to be stalled. It doesn't really have, you can see it's also doing a big digestion when you look way, way out, It's going nowhere. And at the same time, you go look at silver. There's your silver. Same situation. What's that? 5 days now in a sell. And it's been in a weekly sell since here. And in the action in, let's see what we got here. Most of the guys coming in are messing around with a couple of $100. Okay. They want direction of assistant and possible volatility ranges. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, if you're messing around with a couple $100, you should be doing options. Because that means you're not going to get stopped out. And you can control your risk. I mean, if you can only mess with a couple $100, you're basically, handcuffing yourself. The only way you can use a couple $100 in here is if you're doing intraday trading. Because you surely can't do overnight. You'll get stopped out, and the next thing you know, it's going again. In other words, they'll try to bet all 200. Most people do. They always make that mistake. Robin deals with it. You tell them that you can be long, and they max their account out instantly. It's like as if they're going into the casino to put it on black, or red, or green, or whatever. In other words, they're not trying to do educated investing. They're basically doing educated gambling, which means that you need, if you're going to trade with $200 or $300, then you need to trade intraday, and have tight stops, and follow numbers, and have access to intraday tools. We've built one right there on the J4X. Let's take a look at the J4X. All right, let's take a look at a product that might be. Let's do this. If I can figure out how to make it larger again. There it is. Now let's go in there and take a look at. That's the Euro Turkish Lira. Let's go. Oh, I don't care. You know what? Let's go look at the Turkish Lira situation. And let's go with a 3. You can adjust it. I usually like a 3-minute chart. Let's see what a 1-minute chart looks like. So it goes red there. You use the fast stochastic and the slow stochastic, and you can get short. Obviously, it goes down. You go into a buy here, it goes up. We built this for people who can't afford to have sophisticated systems. This is one of the better short-term intraday systems you can get. We've had some people look at it and jump on it, and try it. I mean, it's, if we go over to the euro, dollar-euro pairs trade, let's try that. There's a win. There's a win. This is barely a win. There's a win. That was a very... Yeah, that's a win right there. That's a win right there. It goes higher. It means to be long. That means to be short. That means to be long, So, I mean, that's probably the better way to go. And we can always answer questions and so forth. That's what I really see. If you're trading with a few $100, then you should be doing intraday trading. And that's it, right there. And then using a tool like this, we've designed this. Did we ever even label it the Manhattan Project or Manhattan Indicator? Doc's Manhattan Indicator. Love these newses. Oh, yeah. That's because they have a large position. They control it. When you're the biggest player, you try to remove any opposition. I mean, think about it. That's usually the way it goes. I think I'm going to have a sip of my tea. More to rein in the sale of misuse of spy tools. Why? They don't want competition. Exactly. This morning I was using a search engine. What was it called? Brave something? Because did you hear what Mr. Biden did last night? Or I guess it's 2 days ago. Yeah, I think it was last night or 2 days ago. He, in Nevada, he was talking about the French president who died about 30 years ago and said he was talking with him in 2021. And he looked all confused, and and as far as he was concerned, he was communicating with him. I guess like the way Eleanor Roosevelt used to, or I guess it was like the way Hillary Clinton used to talk to Eleanor Roosevelt, or something like that. I don't know, but Biden was doing that, and everybody was like, "Oh, what's he talking about?" This guy's been dead for 30 years. And he's saying that he was talking with him no more than a year and a half ago in Europe. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. I posted it on the Facebook. Biden appears confused. Macaron with Mitterrand, who died in '96. He's talking about Mitterrand. And, your classic Biden, What else can you say? Poor Joe. All right. So what else have we got here? I think we're going to be able to get out of here at this point. Anybody have a question? If you do, ask it. If not, we'll get out of here. What else can we say about any of this product? And what we'll do is we can do intraday stuff. And traders, you see the J4X. There's the tools. And I guess, Janos, see if you can get them to put together the Manhattan indicator that we have up there as a button, where they can get it all. And, the slow stochastic, the fast stochastic, the Hinky-Ashkis, all combined together. All right, traders, this is Doc from North America. I noted I was a little salty this morning. I'm just passionate of making money, and I don't like the idea of losing it. So, unfortunately, I can't get that across to enough people all the time. All right, so this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again tomorrow on Wednesday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders, have a safe and smart trading day. Ta-ta for now.